Oh, sir.
How am I doing today? What a question. How am I doing today? Let's find out. MiSuNDERStoOd 2. Terrence Taylor talks too much. International Speaking and Coaching Day. Deucey Deuce. Double Deuce 22. Take one. 7:15 on the flap. 7:11 on the timer. Ahead of schedule. Action. They could never stop you. It was always you. Damn right it was. None of this shit out here. None of this shit out here that actually exists out here in life is gonna stop me from doing a motherfucking thing. That's just how the truth goes. It's always me. All these outer forces may exist, and they may appear to be what is stopping, starting, or dictating what's actually happening in life. But the truth is that shit is on you. That shit is on me. That shit is on my inner thoughts and what I'm going to allow myself to do or not to do. So I'm fucking good today. I'm damn good today. Yeah, I've refocused, feeling better, refocused, centered, recentered. What an emotional way to start the week. That always ends up being like the most frustrating part. Is like, oh, this is how Monday morning is going to begin. All right, shake that off. Shake it off. I shook it off. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Hello, my lovely humans and humanettes, humanese. I'm Terrence Taylor. This is MiSuNDERStoOd 2. I'm back again. This is day 22. Processing a lot still, but I've landed in a pretty cool, comfy spot. Little soft landing here. So I'm doing good, yo. I'm doing good. I'm feeling all right. I'm good, but I'm feeling all right. I'm doing good, but I feel just like it's just another day to get up and get to it. I feel like I'm on a fucking hamster wheel a little bit, but I'm not mad at it because it's work that got to be done. And if you don't get on the wheel, the shit ain't getting popping. So I ain't mad. I am not mad at that. Man. So today, what is there today? What do I have on my list of things to talk about today? MiSuNDERStoOd 2, day 22. I got 3 topics for you today. Uno, dos, tres. I have my partnership plan. It's number 1 that manifested right after recording yesterday. The second bit I have for you is about LinkedIn, because I spent all the hours yesterday on LinkedIn. And the third thing I want to talk to you about today is outsourcing creativity and where I've landed in terms of what that looks like for me moving forward in all my collaborative building nature, presence, all of this, whatever word you want to put there. I got to figure it out. So we're going to talk about those 3 things today, amongst a few other things, because get your brooms. It's time for housekeeping. What do I have on housekeeping for today? I'm going to need to use a lot of sensors and beeps and redactednesses, because that episode yesterday, first of all, I want to say this because I'm going to censor it. And what I realized is I can, in the process of feeling how I felt and then going back through it, it's like, yo, I can I can authentically say what I want to say, feel how I want to feel, and then I control the edit. So if there's anything there that I'm like, ooh, don't say that, or maybe that was unnecessary, I just bleep that shit out. Just bleep it out. I'm gonna bleep out name because they don't deserve no shine. This whole scenario was a learning experience that I could insert mad other names in, and those who are listening and viewing, you also, I'm sure, have a similar story that you could insert your own name. So just consider the bleep where you are inserting the motherfucker that you can't stand, that pissed you off, and that you got words for and feelings towards. Put yourself in my shoes and put their name in theirs and feel how you want to feel about it. Yeah, my thoughts after yesterday were just like, man, that is just what it is. I feel how I felt. And as the day went on, my feelings absolutely changed. I got to the point of, and I ended up sending them an email in the afternoon and just being like, send me what you've done and leave me alone. Like, I paid you this money. If you don't want to finish it, that's fine, but give me what you've done so that somebody else could finish it. The truth is, and we'll learn later on about outsourcing creativity. I'm probably not going to hire someone to build the website. I've built 5, 6, 7 websites in my time. I don't need to fucking hire someone to do it. Especially when I'm going through and telling this person exactly where to put everything. Like, nah, I'll just do it myself. So I'm feeling a lot better about yesterday. I got a bit more grace. I woke up this morning after sending that email yesterday of, yo, what are you going to do? Think about, get back to me at the end of the day with a new plan. Me sending a new plan and going, fuck what you think and what you come up with. Just send me my shit. Knowing that I was not going to get a response. This pussy ass motherfucker probably done blocked me and is run off with their life and hiding under a hole cowardice. Pussy ass motherfucker. So I don't actually expect a reply. I don't actually expect to get anything for the money that I spent. And fuck them for being a coward and the trashiest version of a professional and an unfortunate. The part that really annoyed me is that this is someone who I was helping, supporting, teaching, and to go through this experience, and then they handle this situation like that. It's like, oh, is that a reflection of me and how I am and how I would go about something? No, I might feel how they felt, but I definitely would have handled it differently. Have there been clients that I have gotten paid from and then just told them at the end of this, fuck you, I'm not giving you anything? Yeah, it's happened before. Not under these type of circumstances. So at a certain level, I understand just like walking away and not giving a fuck. There's just a way to do that. So I've done it the right way. I've done it the wrong way. And in this moment, if I go, they're fucking it up, and it's actually easier for me to just not care, not put this time, effort, and energy into them or this scenario, then great. I'm better off that way. I sent a quick message to my lawyer to say, hey, this is what happened. What do you think? And they were like, well, they're not really hiding that they didn't do what they said they were going to do. Doesn't make sense for you to hire me for this, but if you wanted to pursue this, you'd have a decent case. And you sit here like, well, I could just take the contract, the email, and then this last email where I said, hey, just send me what you did. And I could present that and go, they didn't do what they're supposed to do. I want my money. It's $5,000. It's not a small amount of money. Is it worth it in where I'm going and the amount of money I can make? It's not worth it. I am not the teacher of all lessons. This will come back and bite them in the ass at some point in time, and good for them. I hope they learn. I am not the facilitator of all life lessons directly. They're going to get this lesson indirectly, and I'm walking the fuck away because I don't even have time. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like, that's the other truth. Like, I don't even want time, effort, and energy spent on it. So, moving on, packing it up. I hope this is a lesson to everybody who goes through this process and hiring people you know, and whether that's the other thing, bro. Like, you can have a contract, you can write some shit down, people can sign it. If people don't care, they don't give a fuck, and that's just what it is. And if you want to fight that fight the other way, have fun. Is it worth it? To me, no. So a year ago, maybe. And do I need the money? Would I take it? Who's gonna go, nah, I'm cool off $5,000. I don't care how much money you have. Can I have my $5,000 back? Of course. But it's just the time and the effort and the headache and the mental capacity that it would require. It's not even worth it. So I'm off that shit. Bye. Bye-bye. Which leads me to another person that I spoke to yesterday that was pissing me the fuck off. Yo, I really hate when people who don't know some shit try to tell you some shit that they don't know about. And even in them saying, yo, I'm not really sure, they tell you for fact something that they tell you in the same sentence that they don't know for sure. How about just shut the fuck up? Or just say, I don't know. Hey, I'll get back to you. Told y'all about this Ford Bronco. And I put the little $500 deposit on it. So it's sitting in Truro. It's mine. I just got to go through the process of doing what it is to keep it. But it's there. And I had a thought about putting a plan together and going about accessing this vehicle and not necessarily having to pay the full price for it. I'm in the gym yesterday thinking about some shit. So I text the guy, hey, listen, he texted me, hey, I'm going to call you later on today to do the credit application. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But before we do that, do you know anybody in like the marketing, cross promotion, user generated content testimonial? Like, there has to be somebody that exists either regionally or nationally that this is their job. It's fucking Ford. They have a marketing department. So I asked the buddy, hey, listen, can you let me know who it is or find out what's going on, yada, yada. He says, to be honest with you, I don't know if Ford even has such exists. Speak English. If it will have no bearing on the credit application, though, I will call you later to explain. So here, first of all, dumbass, read what you wrote. 2, you're wrong. Because Ford definitely has someone in marketing that works with people who create content to promote Ford. It's 2023. Shut the fuck up. You're wrong. But also to tell me it will have no bearing on the credit application. Listen, dumbass, if I put together a business deal where a $60,000 car doesn't cost me $60,000 out of pocket, and we come up with a deal that say is worth $30,000, I don't know. Now, whatever that number is gets subtracted from the total price of the vehicle, and then therefore whatever is remaining is to be financed, which then therefore the credit application is based on that number, not the total number. I thought that was simple fucking math. Apparently this guy doesn't know how math works. So yeah, that not only does Ford not have a person, but even if they did and you did that, it's not going to affect the application. Well, my response was, it will. I'll do some research on my own and I'll be in touch with you by the end of the week. He said, no problem. This is like, first of all, asshole, I'm trying to, you're supposed to help me. And I get that he's trying to make his little sale. I feel you, but I asked you a very specific question. You lied and made an excuse about it. Part of me at this point goes, man, fuck this guy in this fucking car. That's just straight up. Don't talk stupid to me. I'm not dumb. That's one. But 2, just the fact that people are people will just get in your way of doing whatever it is that you're doing. Like, this guy's helping me to do something, and then I ask for his help, and he won't help me. Well, that's fine. I don't care. I'm only telling this story because I have more to talk about later, but it was, it just felt like, oh, here's another obstacle today that's so unnecessary, but will forever exist. People who don't understand what you're trying to do, people who have their own agenda, and them stepping on what you're trying to do so that they can move forward with whatever it is that they want to do. I do a deal with Ford at a national level. This motherfucker's not selling a car to me. He don't care about what I want to do. He cares about selling his car. Fine, but your fucking job is to help me. I'm the customer. Hey, I want this. Direct me there. I don't know if they exist. Well, then can you find out? No? All right, I'll find out on my own. So, fuck that guy. But thanks for being a dick and reminding me of just how life is just full of unnecessary hurdles and foolishness and foolish people. Oh, man. I told you I was good today, though. Can you feel it? Can you feel how good I am? Best part about yesterday, though, however, is I did get an email from sent me an image of the new test of the embroidery. Looked great in the box with the gold trim, all black. Looks like things are working as they should. He'll do the white test, which should turn out just like the black. And I gave him the thumbs up. Printing has begun. That was Monday. Print should be done Wednesday. So merch should be complete by midweek, sent out by the end of the week to arrive here sometime next week. So merch is en route. And unfortunately, it'll be done at the tail end of this 30 piece that we got going, but that don't matter because it's not like this is gonna stop anytime soon anyway. So I'm glad to have some new merch coming. I'm glad that the logos are gonna be on the side pockets, because seeing it on this camera and having something in the center where this mic just happens to be is not gonna work. So we did a few more options, and some of them will look a bit better on camera. So thanks. I'm excited for that. They're on the way. Bye. Like 20 minutes in, I didn't even get to know damn topics. All right, well, you're in for one today. So hey, hi. All right, so topics for today. What do I have? So I was telling you a little bit about the Ford man and how that kind of thinking came together. So I'll backtrack and I'll give you how the thought manifested. It came up with a partnership plan. That's where we started, my partnership plan. I'm sitting in the gym yesterday after recording, and gym thoughts kicked in as they always do. I'm sitting here and I go, all right, one, I'm doing this thing on camera. Thanks, Nate, for the haircut. Oh, doing a partnership deal with Define Studios Barbershop to get haircuts and be on camera and then do an ad for Define in some way. I don't know how it looks, but I get there. I get haircuts from there. I show up on camera. I say, shout them out. There's got to be something in there that at a very small basic level is doable. All right, fine. Well, if I can do that for a haircut, then I probably could do that for other beauty products, face products, things that are going to make me look and feel a bit more professional on the camera. And that came to beauty products, skin products, like any of that type of self-care type TLC spaness. It's like, all right, well, I wonder if we could do something similar with beauty products. Okay, I got this candle over here. I've done some work with a company locally, got some candles from them. Like, all right, at the very least, I could put together a small partnership scheme with local folks. And at least then I have a blueprint for what it looks like to put together a partnership deal, advertising deal, cross promotional deal, whatever that is, with somebody local so that I can get access to. Really, I thought of street teams. And if you're familiar with hip hop days and album comes out and street promotion and putting posters up and going in your barbershops and passing out like that kind of hand-to-hand personal walk by something and see it type energy. I was like, all right, how do I do that? As much as this is going to be an international speaking and coaching business, there is a benefit to having a connection and building something in your own community, in the places that you live and work, the places you have to walk by, the places that people are just going to see you. So, wouldn't it be, a poster in the poster in the barbershop of the show and of me, like, so now people go into the barbershop, they see the show exists. Where else would somebody walk around and see content and promotion for an online thing, especially an online show, an independent produced broadcast? Where would anybody see that tangibly? Mad shit online, mad links and this and that, but all right, let's think about what that looks like at a local level, which then got me to, I don't think I've told you guys this, but I mean, I might have I want to move. I don't want to live in Nova Scotia. I fucking hate living here. I've lived here for 20 years now. I'm just over it. I moved here when I was 16. So it's like the next 20 years of my life I've been here. So I'm almost like that kid who's born and raised somewhere and then they get to high school, 18, 19, 20, and they're like, yo, I'm getting the fuck out of here. That's where I've landed. And of all the places in Canada that feel like the right move, because I'm not moving to the States. That sounds like the most dangerous and most terrifying idea ever. Calgary sounds like the most proper business relocation. There's money, there's shit happening. It's big enough, it's small enough. I've been there before. I like it. And it feels like a perfect fresh start for me as a professional. Especially now shedding off all of this. Ooh, I want to be friends and business. But nah. Fresh start. Go out west. Here's me as a professional. Buy it or not. Off we go. Perfect. But I'm in Halifax. Calgary's on the other side of the country. And I'm about to buy a new car that I'm realizing either has to get shipped or driven across country. Well, if we're going to drive a brand new Ford across the country in the launching of a new business, it almost feels like it makes sense to create something with Ford to drive across the country, moving the business, building relationships across the country, setting up a speaking tour to speak to different companies, people across the country. It doesn't make sense to just pack up and move and not make that a part of what's happening. It just doesn't. So that's how I got to, what about working with Ford to come up with a way to do some business. So fuck this credit application, blah, blah, blah. Now you see the dots, right? So, and Ford's an international company. So if we're going to do local business with a defined hair studio that, you know, somebody in Amsterdam is not going to go to the barbershop, what is another way to work with companies that have an international reach? So that's where I landed. And the plan is now to go about drafting that up. What is a one-pager that says, here's a partnership we want to create, here's what you get, here's what we get, and here's what it looks like. Doing that once and then replicating that over and over. And then going about it with a larger company and figuring out how to do that. So this jackass who was of no help, I went on the Ford Canada website and just went to team, started looking around who's, what's what. I found a gentleman, Ernest, who, and unfortunately the Ford website doesn't have like the Ford email addresses. So I found the guy. He also has a company. So boom, Ford, take him, search him up. He's got a company. Like, all right, bet. So I checked that out. Then I got his contact there. So I'm like, hey, listen, I'm Terrence Taylor. Here's what I do. I'm looking to buy a Ford. Trying to figure out how to maneuver this marketing, partnership, cross-promotion, user-generated content space. Maybe you could help me steer me in the right direction. I know this is your business email. This is not the Ford email, but I couldn't find the Ford email. Looking forward to hearing from you. So I send that. That's the start. And then I look some more through the Ford info to find out that there's a dude who actually does this. There's a couple dudes. I try to find their information too. Reach out to them. And good luck, because their specific contact information is just nowhere to be found online. Except for, of course, LinkedIn. So now, and this has been on my list of tasks and things I needed to do, was to do my LinkedIn profile. I had a LinkedIn so long ago. I hated using it because it was just work that I was really just copying the same content on different platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Nothing was different. It was all the same and just getting repurposed or just reposted. Not even repurposed, just reposted. And yeah, I just wasn't using LinkedIn how I should have been. And instead of just deactivating my account, I just deleted it, got rid of it all. That was silly. That was years ago. And so now I got to start over. And I needed to literally start from scratch. So I did. I went through and started adding my education, which I realized, oh yeah, I did go to university for 8 years. Like that's semi-valuable to someone who cares. and realizing that, oh, me just sending an email to a strange person from a strange email ain't really cutting it the same as I had the light bulb moment of, oh, this is why LinkedIn is valuable. Got it. So I'm going through, adding all my info, education, all my experiences, and that led me to how I opened up the show feeling like, yo, I'm him. I feel great. And the LinkedIn experience forced me to dig into just like what I've been doing over the past 10 years. And I found videos I forgot about. I found videos that I forgot I made. I found videos that I forgot people made of me. I cringe a little bit because it's my old work and the production quality is just so awful in some of this stuff. It sounds so bad. I don't know how anyone listened to Change the Narrative podcast before, because the fucking sound, it sounded atrocious. But in those moments, I realized like it didn't matter. That didn't matter. What mattered is that I was doing it, and that I have the files of doing it. I'm looking at videos like 5 years ago, interview, black and white, multiple cameras cutting back. You're like, yo, what? Oh yeah, shit, I have been doing this. I have been trying to manifest this in a way. I just was fucking distracted. Yeah. I started digging through all my old TNT food experience videos. Then I get to the transition from TNT food experience to Terrence Taylor Media. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy to see the progress. It's crazy for me to see it. So the fact that I'm building this online resume that showcases the growth, that showcases the time dedicated, that showcases the work that's been put in. It's like, yo, who cares how trash it was before? The fact is, one, people can see what it was, what it became, and where it is. And two, I did the work to improve the product. So it doesn't, none of the old shit matters to now, except for that it helped get to now. So that made me really excited because I'm pretty damn good. I'm motherfucking good at this shit, bro. And I saw that yesterday as a cold reminder. Not that yeah, you kind of forget. Even if you know it, but there was something about seeing some of this old work that I just go, man, you really fucking care about this. Because if you didn't, it wouldn't look how it looks now. It would look exactly how it did before. And there's some people who I know who do shit and who've done things, and I'm like, yo, that you're 4 years in, and that is exactly the same. How you got a podcast that looks and sounds exactly the same? How you got how you been interviewing people and you still interviewing people over the Zoom and it sounds trash and you ain't come up with a way to edit? Like, the shit just look and sounds the same. It's also why I gotta move, because a lot of that looking and sounding the same shit is acceptable here. You don't really have to work that hard to shine in Nova Scotia. You could just show up with mediocre shit, and because you're showing up, which is more than most people will do, your mediocre shit gets fucking championed. And cool, because a lot of us came to the table with mediocre shit. But at a certain point, that mediocre shit has to improve. And if I'm looking around surveying the landscape, a lot of people's mediocre shit has remained mediocre as fuck. Which then brings us all to, well, we can get away with mediocre. So why try to do better? And who is this motherfucker who thinks he can do better when we all know we can get by off mediocre? It ain't gonna work. The more I keep seeing my improvement, the less that shit is not gonna fly with me, dog. It ain't happening that way. It can't. It fucking can't. So this, I love this branding. This just change shit just keep coming back. Just keeps coming back in moments of like, yeah, it did change. It did get better. Change is not bad. Change is great. Switching it up is great. Growth and improvement is great. So I'm looking at this LinkedIn page like, yeah, this is not the LinkedIn page of old. And if you see my shit and you fuck with me now, yeah, I got something for you. I got something big time for you. And I was not back in the day. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited for LinkedIn, which I never thought I would say that. I'm sure you could hear all the phlegm that was just sitting and resting like right back here. I dumped that out now. All right, cool. So last but not least, as I see all this hard work I've contributed, I've seen what I've done, I've seen the growth, I've seen the improvement. I think about this website that I didn't need to hire someone else to do. I think about some of the work that I've said in the previous bit of time, like, yo, let me work with other people. Let me see what somebody else's ideas bring to the table. Let me see what happens if I take this idea to a certain point and then give it to somebody else and let them run with it. That's what I did when I created the TNT food experience branding. I had no idea about design and branding. It was my first business thing. And I doodled up something, got it to a certain point, and then took that to a designer, graphic designer. Her name was Nevada, actually. And she cooked up some fire, and I loved it, and it was great. It was perfect. I had a similar experience when I was coming up with my Terrence Taylor branding, and I didn't really know what to do. And I worked with a designer, and I paid $1,600 to get my name in a box. All right. I'm not mad at it because sure, it sounds simple, but in design world, it could take a while to just put a name in a box. All right, fine, got it. Fast forward, now I'm developing things. I meet people, they're creative, they do other things. I want to build my, foundation, my crew of creative people. I always wanted a ASAP mob crew of creative people. That shit's not gonna fly. I am Russ. I do everything on my own, and I don't really need to outsource to anyone. That's what I've realized. I've spent 25 grand on paying people to do shit that I wanted to offload. I wanted to just go like, yo, I have other things to create. Like, y'all just do this. You make the website. You design the logo. You do. And the truth is, I would rather do it myself. At least at the very least at stage one. What I've realized is if I try to work with somebody at stage one and I haven't fully formulated what it needs to be, it takes too much back and forth to try to land on what it is. So what I end up having to do is create it to a certain point. And then I was feeling like, all right, let me get it to a certain point and then let me bring somebody else in and they can add their 3% and take it to the next level. Cool. But even when I'm doing that, I'm realizing like that's taking more time. And I'm not necessarily enjoying the process of working with other people because you have to just dealing with other people. And the pace in which I operate, I don't have time to wait a week and some change for you to do this thing that in real time, you need to just sit down for an hour and do it and have a sense of urgency and get back to me. But people just don't operate that way. And I can't leave my success and my creativity and the things I need to manifest in the laps of others. I could have built this fucking website on my own. We come up with a creative idea. We came up with an idea that was my fucking idea that they just had to implement. So the realization is if I learn how to do some of the implementation stuff, then I actually don't need to deal with somebody else. Because the creatives, the going back and forth on the creative, I usually don't need help. And my creative ideas usually stick. It's just how do we do that? The I want my change coin, for example. working with graphic designer Andrew Mukama, who's been incredibly helpful. He designed the workbook. And we had a coin idea, and it took months to work through something, and I didn't like it. And then eventually I was like, I'll just do it myself. I went on YouTube, found a video on how to use Photoshop and make a coin, and I just spent an hour or two just doing that when I had it at the end of the day. It took me a few hours, and we had spent months trying to so to their credit, us spending months figuring out what this thing needed to be is the time it took for me to get to, oh, I want a coin and I want it to look like this. Fine. But in terms of the implementation and the actual delivering of the idea, I did it myself, and it took me a few hours. I got a list of things that Andrew and I were supposed to have a meeting yesterday. I have not looked at my calendar in weeks because I'm not scheduling things. I'm just working. So 7:30 comes, I'm out walking the dog, and we're supposed to have a meeting. So, oh shit, whoops. And then I'm sitting around last night, and I'm like looking at the things that we need to meet about, and I'm like, I could do that. I could probably do that too. And I'll do that also. It's not that I don't want Andrew to do it, and it's not that I don't trust Andrew to do it. It's, I don't know how I feel about outsourcing creative things to other people anymore. Not things that I know how to do. I don't want to spend money and put opportunities in other people's hands to see what they come up with. I'm not doing that shit anymore. I'm not. I've given people enough opportunities. I see what happens. No thanks. And Andrew's great. I fucking love it. It's awesome. I love working with Andrew. He's one of the few people that I've been able to draw the personal and professional boundary line fairly well. Helps that he lives in Ontario, so we don't cross human paths for real. But it's a relationship that there's much better boundaries there. And so, as I'm looking at what needs to be done, it's like, do I need to hire Andrew to do that? I originally hired Andrew because of the rising youth work that I was doing, interviewed Andrew as a part of that series, and then saw work that he did that was amazing and was like, yo, can you do something like that for me? But in this, and so you maintain that relationship, keep going, you keep making things, it's great, but I don't know, man. I have more belief in me, and I've proven that I can do, in most cases, what I need and want to do. And there's not a lot that I think about at a base creative level that I can't manifest. The stuff that I'm asking Andrew to do, it's like, no, you should just do that. And maybe the way we go about this next phase of what we create will be a little bit different. So I'm not completely off of working with Andrew by any means, but I really do have to reconfigure how that works, what I'm actually asking others to do, what it is that I can actually do myself. Maybe it will take more time for me to do it myself. But if you verse the time that it takes for me to do the task and the time that it takes in the back and forth, the mistakes that they may or may not make, the amount of money that I have to spend in order to do that, the amount of editing and revising that it requires to get, I may as well just fucking do it on my own. Remove this other person who in a lot of ways is great, but can create stress and annoyance for me. I just know how I am. I can't make clothes or design shit, so make the shirts and send the shirts. But can I make a Word document that's engaging and creative and has certain information on it? Yeah. So fucking do it. Keep my money, have more control of my creative. You know what it is though? I think it has to do with my innate desire to want to build a team and have trusted people around me that, well, when I'm offering video services, it was always great to be able to have a photographer that I could say, yeah, well, I don't do stills, but they could do it. I already told you about the 2 photographers that I knew that could not tell me what it costs to hire them. Well, how the fuck am I supposed to put you on my team if you don't even have your shit in order? So I'm naturally wired as an athlete, basketball player, to work as a team. But I'm really starting to realize that a lot of what I can do, a lot of what I have the ability to do, a lot of what can be manifested and created and put out into the world, I don't need other people. Sometimes I want other people, but I don't actually need them. And if I do a better job in separating that and being smart about that, then it actually strengthens the relationship. It makes it clear what's necessary and what's not, where they're valuable, where they're not, where their time is best spent, where my time is best spent. I just gotta figure that out. But the truth is, I got a sick belief in what I'm doing right now that I don't care to involve others. And where I'm at and what I need to create, I need to just keep my head down and tunnel vision and stay focused. The fact that I even had to deal with, you know what's annoying? I got annoyed at myself for even suggesting to change the website and update it from CTN to Talk Too Much, because I was like, I know that's more work to do, and I don't even really want to go back. I don't want to go back to that. If it wasn't for that yellow lined paper idea, I would have just said fuck it and moved on. I can't do the yellow lined paper part on my own. That's like a real coding thing. But the rest of it I can build on my own. All right, so scrap that idea and move on. Like, I didn't need to go back. Look what happens when you go back. Look at the shit you fucking drum up when you go back. Not worth it, man. Not fucking worth it. So yeah, I'm keeping my creativity to myself. I'm manifesting it in my own way. I'm keeping hold of that shit. I have control of that. I'm running with mine. Mine. That's it. That's all I got, man. I got me and my own ability to deliver shit. And I got to just bet on that. I got to double, triple, quadruple down on that. All the chips on the table for me. Belief in me. And I'm seeing what I'm doing, and fuck it, man. I can't be stopped. You gotta be sick in your fucking head if you think this train is moving, stopping, slowing down for anyone. You will get trampled the fuck over. Don't fucking play with me, bro. This machine is... We're not stopping. None of this stress shit is... Brush that shit off. Take it. Know it's coming with the territory. Take it, shake it off. Take it, learn from it. Move on. Ooh, keep that. Yep. Out of here. This is all this business shit is, man. It's just one big fucking life lesson of how to get kicked in the dick and get the fuck up. Big kicks in the dick, yo, but we bouncing back. We bouncing back with a partnership plan. We bouncing back with a fire-ass LinkedIn profile. And we're bouncing back with, what is the opposite of outsourcing? Insourcing? Keeping it in-house? We're in-housing all of our creativity. In-house your creativity, yo. Believe in your own creativity. Do something with your own creativity. Don't leave it to others. Don't stop and wait for others. Just make your own shit. Make your own shit. I'm building my own shit. Make it. Build it. live it, love it. Shit. I'm out. That was MiSuNDERStoOd 2 for today, day 22. I gave you a little bit extra today. Why not? Why not? I'm here. I'm gone. I'm Terrence Taylor. It's M2. I'm about to get on the road. Go pick up my sweet boy. And send some emails to these motherfuckers. Until tomorrow.
My daddy makes out. And his name is Terrence Taylor. And I took those pictures.